Tonight on Connecticut's news station, an alleged kidnapper in court.
When the state does produce evidence to support them, we will examine it carefully.
We're learning new details about the suspect accused of taking a 13-year-old girl to a motel.
Plus, school struggles. Stone Academy now facing a lawsuit.
We were literally sold a ticket to a sinking ship.
We're hearing from former students tonight impacted by its closure.
One more day until brighter, warmer, and drier days ahead. Your full forecast coming up.
And saving money on solar. The new partnership helping residents in the Elm City go green.
May the 4th be with you. I think we've come to the right place. It is a return to JEDI training class. I'm Jim Altman. The story's ahead on the Fox 61 News.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the news at 6. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. A 13-year-old Plainfield teen was reported missing back in March, and just a half an hour later, police discovered social media chats suggesting that she was inside of a motel room with a Boston area man.
That's the basis for kidnapping charges 22-year-old Connor Tidd of Quincy, Massachusetts is facing. Fox 61's Samaya Hernandez has been digging through the disturbing details unveiled in court today.
Connor Tidd posted his $500,000 bond and walked out of court a few hours ago. He was driven away in a car with Massachusetts plates. Now, according to the warrant for his arrest, police say that when they found him in that motel with a 13-year-old girl, he wouldn't give them his name or his age, but he did say that he was old enough to get in trouble. The disturbing details leading to the arrest of 22-year-old Connor Tidd begin here on March 18th inside room 121. But what led police here started over a month earlier on the social media app Perp, described by the 13-year-old Plainfield girl police found with Tidd as the, quote, kid-friendly version of popular dating app Tinder, where Tidd described himself as a 15-year-old. The two began dating, which moved to the social media app Snapchat, where the girl suggested she wanted to try THC gummies. Tidd writing, quote, what do I get in return, little one? According to the warrant, police discovering the messages on the girl's computer minutes after she snuck out of her parents' home, got picked up and was found inside Musib's Elite Inn, quote, crouched down in the shower portion of the bathroom, and Tidd hiding behind the door.
Remember that everyone is entitled to be presumed innocent until proven guilty.
Our cameras were not allowed inside Killingly Superior Court Thursday, where Tidd was arraigned on first-degree kidnapping and second-degree sex assault, among other charges. Matthew Olkin is his attorney.
We just learned today of these allegations. We have not seen any evidence to support them yet.
A worker at Elite Inn told Fox 61 police went door to door until a man said he saw the girl and pointed at the room. Police found cannabis gummy containers, sex toys, duct tape, and a Swiss Army knife inside. The girl told authorities she had consensual intercourse with Tidd.
People should withhold their judgments until Connor's had a chance to tell his side of the story. And when that happens, I believe people will see the case differently.
And according to the warrant, Tidd told the girl that he did the same thing to another girl, but wouldn't say who. In Danielson, I'm Samaya Hernandez, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Samaya, thank you. New tonight, U.S. Marshals announced this morning that they've arrested a 22-year-old Omar Nelson in connection to a multitude of crimes, including the shooting death of a man back in January in New Haven. U.S. Marshals say that they discovered Nelson living in the attic of a home in Bridgeport, hiding under the insulation.
New developments tonight after a man's body was found in front of a fire station in New Britain. And tonight we now know the name of that man. His body was found on Noble Street this morning, right across from the New Britain Fire Station number 5. Police have identified that man as 25-year-old Ronald Nelson of Stratford. His body has been brought to the office of the medical examiner to determine how exactly he died. 4
teens were arrested Wednesday for stealing a car. Trumbull police located the teenagers in the Trumbull Marriott parking lot with a stolen car. The teens ran into the Best Buy that police were able to then arrest them there. 2 13-year-old males, 1 14-year-old male, and 1 15-year-old male, all from New Haven, were arrested and charged.
All right, turning to the weather now, it's looking like that gloomy streak of weather is going to end this weekend, and we might get some sun tomorrow.
Just in time, here Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Hi, Rachel.
Yeah, if we're going to turn brighter, warmer, drier, it might as well happen over the weekend. So yet another reason to look forward to Saturday and Sunday. 56 degrees is looking pretty ominous here over the capital city in Hartford, and middle 50s in the New Haven area, where we're also seeing a considerable amount of clouds. It wasn't a bad day. Most of the time was dry. Occasionally you get a pop of sun. We're going to do this all over again tomorrow, including the chance for an isolated shower. But there will be some areas, just like today, that stay completely dry. Let's zoom in and give you a closer look at some of those showers that are ongoing right now from Watertown down through Middlebury, getting a good drink of water, Seymour, Oxford as well, and that continues right down to Milford. A few sprinkles here in southeastern Connecticut, and we'll see these continue to move in from north to south as we head through the next several hours or so. Right now we're looking at temperatures that are in the 50s across most of the state, but upper 40s in Chester. Overnight lows will be dipping back towards the 40-degree mark as we head towards daybreak tomorrow, and we'll do it all over again. We'll see clouds, some sunshine in the morning, chance for an isolated afternoon shower, highs near 60 degrees, and then the sun will come out on Saturday. It is a beautiful weekend. I'm going to show it to you. Full forecast coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. New at 6, a bill that focuses on sewage and pushes for more oversight of the Metropolitan District Commission of Hartford will not be moving forward. This after basement floods and septic overflow issues for residents in the city's north end. Lawmakers called this the ultimate MDC cleanup bill that would have allocated funds to help affected homes and businesses from sewage backup and bad flooding.
If you used TurboTax in the past, you may be eligible to get money back. Attorney General William Tong announcing Connecticut customers will receive part of a $141 million settlement. This comes after TurboTax settled after being accused of deceiving millions of low-income Americans by paying for their services while saying they were free. Approximately 42,000 Connecticut customers will receive almost $1.5 million worth of the settlement. Checks will be mailed out throughout the month of May.
Well, Connecticut will soon have early voting. Voters approving an amendment in November changing the state constitution to allow the legislature to pass laws to implement early in-person voting.
Now legislators are debating what that will actually look like in the state. Fox 61's political reporter Emma Wolfhorst joins us now in studio with the details. Emma.
Jen, Ben, lawmakers are currently discussing the final version of this bill on the House floor. This proposal would allow 14 days of early voting for a general election, 7 days for August state primaries, and 4 days before special elections and presidential primaries. There were multiple versions of this measure throughout the process with varying amounts of days for early voting. And now Democrats say they've taken up this most expansive option to give people choice and flexibility. But Republicans are concerned, saying this bill was, quote, written in the dark. Republicans are worried about election security and the details of implementing early voting, saying they were left out of the process of drafting this bill. They also have concerns about possible strain on towns and elections administrators, saying this bill is, quote, totally problematic, adding the bill is written for the Democratic Party, not written for democracy. But Democrats say this is the will of the voters. And while Republicans argue 14 days is too long and can always be added to in the future, Democrats believe 14 days is flexible, saying in coming years the legislature can shorten the early voting window.
I'm concerned that a bill was written and is hoisted upon us in the dark of night. And the only solace that I do have is that we still have another session next year to address some of the concerns once this bill sees the light of day.
Obviously, we have the opportunity to shape it, but we know that, it's not often that you take a poll officially at the ballot box to know how the voters of Connecticut feel. We know they've given us a charge. We're delivering today.
Connecticut is one of only 4 states currently with no early voting options, and Democrats say 14 days is still on the low end of early voting periods, citing 21 days as the average. Now, lots of debate happening on the House floor right now over this bill. So far, 3 amendments have been passed by Republicans and both have failed. Lawmakers nearly 3 hours into debates on this bill. I'm being told representatives did order dinner, so it could be a long night. Ben, Jen.
Sounds like it is going to be a long night. Emma, keep us updated. Well, Connecticut veteran groups are pushing back this week against proposed cuts to veteran services in the new House Republican budget proposal. The bill does not specify which parts of the veteran services would be cut. It just caps the amount of money the government can spend.
You've got a crowd. I'm not going to stand here and say this. You've got a crowd of folks on the other side of the aisle who voted 217 of them just a week ago for cuts that would devastate the VA budget.
Many believe the VA could face a 22% cut if this bill is passed.
Have you thought about investing in solar panels, but because you put it to the side because of the price? In New Haven, they're working to make that cheaper and easier for the public with a program called Solar for All. The new partnership is a company with a company called Posigen. It's a partnership with them that was just launched today. It allows people to lease solar panels through them for 25 years with a guarantee that they'll be saving money on their electric bills. There's no installation fee, no insurance payment, and no credit score or income requirement.
Posigen is providing predictability and stability to folks who sign up for that $75 a month. It should be that plus the connection fee, and the rest of it is savings.
People do still need to work with the utility company to connect to the power grid. The program for many may seem too good to be true. That's why the city's involved, and to target low-income families who otherwise couldn't afford solar panels.
And this is a program that can really help facilitate using their roofs to reduce our climate impact and save people money.
Under the new partnership, the smallest package of panels starts at $75 a month. It's expected to save New Haven customers nearly $1,000 a year.
And new at 6, $2.4 million worth of checks are being sent to Connecticut cities and towns thanks to the nickel per nip program. Every April and October, each municipality gives 5 cents for each container sold in the previous 6 months. Officials saying this was the most successful time period for the program. In the first year and a half, the nickel per nip program has generated $6.6 million. Many communities are using the money to keep roads, waterways, and other public spaces litter-free.